everyone, and welcome to the opening round of the 2019.1 South African simV8 Series Championship. And my name is Jason Holden-Jones, your commentator this evening. Anyway, we've got qualifying underway already. Just a 15-minute session, of course, and 2 minutes is done. And we've got Christopher Langevaart, who was quickest out of the pit lane. And he's about to get a flying lap underway for Redline Valkyrie. And Christopher Langevaart, the fastest driver throughout the hot lap qualifying session that took place from Thursday last week to last night. And let's see what Christopher can come up with now. Great lines into turn one. Gets a sort of a wiggle out of turn two though, and hangs on to it thankfully. And on the run to Villeneuve now, important to set yourself up for the second corner. In fact, this corner coming up now, not too fast in there. And Langevaart now looking to get a good run up the hill towards Peritella corner. And a big shout out to our viewers this evening. Welcome everybody. I've been waiting for this for quite a long time since I decided to run this championship. And we've got Aussie V8 power this season. Almost 500 kilowatts coming from those big V8s in front of the cars. We've got three manufacturers: the Holden, Commodore, the Nissan Altima, and the Ford Falcon. You won't see many Nissans, unfortunately, just two signed up out of the 85 entrants this season. But in the rest are Holdens and Fords. More Holdens and Fords. Let's see how we get on. Langevaart about to finish his first flying lap. Let's see what we can come up with now. Bit wide on exit out of Ravazza 2. Anyway, can he get that 43-second bracket? Yes, he can. A 43.690. That is really quick. Basically on par with what he did over the weekend. Jim Clark now for Arcor Racing in second, the 44.4. Absmeyer for RPM secured. He's in third position now. Timothy Haynes goes fourth for Ghostworks. Timothy Haynes, the new driver at the Ghostworks outfit. So a big opportunity for him to work with such a great team. Of course, Ghostworks, multiple drivers and teams champions. Sean Stradham says, "Evening everyone. For a moment I thought this was real racing." Wow, that's what I like to hear, Sean. Timothy Haynes now looking to improve now by 10th. He is currently in 4th position, just behind Absmeyer. He needs another 0.2 of a second to get on terms with Absmeyer, however. Not quite working out for Timothy just yet. Jim Clark now up 0.4 of a second. What is Langevaart doing? Langevaart's not going to improve this lap, not so far. Jim Clark now up. Oh, he's lost time out of the chicane. Pretty difficult to get the power down out of the chicane. He's lost all his good work, unfortunately. Jim Clark has got a 10th up, but it's not enough to take Langevaart's done a 43.596. It does improve, in fact. And Absmeyer now up into second, 43.651 for him, so just a 10th off Langevaart. Oliphant now up into 4th position. Oh, Judd Watts now popped up into 3rd for Squadro Ghostworks. But Absmeyer, a big improvement there, 43.651, 2nd for him so far. And the times are tumbling, of course, during this last 10 minutes of qualifying. This evening is the Division 1 race, and we've got the Division 2, 3 and maybe 4 races on Wednesday evening, and if you're watching this and you want to get involved in the racing, there's still space, of course. We do not close the sign-ups throughout the season. We take as many drivers as possible. And visit our website at simracesa.co.za. Click on the Esports Leagues tab, and you'll find a sign-up form there, and you could be racing this Wednesday evening. We've got 85 entrants for the season, and I would like to have 100 before we finish the season off. Langefeld's on an out lap, so is Absmeyer, so we're just readying themselves for the final 8 minutes of the session. Clark on an out lap 2. I'm just going to go down the order and see what's happening. There's the Oliphant now out in the Ford. Looks extremely quick throughout the weekend as well. You can do better than 7th in the Ford. So everybody ready on an out lap at the moment. Sassman too with a very striking livery in the 777 entry. Another Ford. Craig Larson's in the Synergy Spartan entry. Leaderboard now up to 9th position for Redline Racing. The 101 Holden. And these cars are not running any driving aids whatsoever, no traction control, no ABS. Just 600, almost 500 kilowatts of power that your right foot has to keep under control. It's been very tricky, but the drivers have adapted very well. And a very different animal compared to the GT4 cars we ran last season. Of course, this simV8 series as well as the simGP series act as qualifying rounds for each of the simGT rounds. Our flagship championship is the simGT series. This week we focus on the simV8s. Next week will be the simGP cars, the Formula 1 but 2000 spec Formula 1 cars made by the fantastic Race Sim Studio modding group. And the following week will be the simGT series. So let's have a look at Langeveld. He is about on par with his best lap so far. Absmeyer has improved though. Wow, almost 0.3 of a second. So let's just stay with Absmeyer now. This could give him pole position for the secured RPM Holden. And here comes Absmeyer to take pole position. Surely he will. Yes, he does comfortably. A 43.257. I think that's the fastest lap time we've ever seen. So wow. Throwing down the gauntlet here has Absmeyer. 3/10 up on Langeveld, who's not improving. Wow, he's not gone with the momentum as Langeveld. Oliphant just started a lap. Clark now up 0.4 of a second. That would not give him pole position. That would give him what? 3rd. Oh, Clark's just running a bit deep there into Ravatsa 1. Gets back on the power. He's lost a bit of time as Clark. And this could give him 3rd. Let's see what is very close to Judd Watt now. Clark will go 3rd. Wow, 43.952 for him. Absmeyer's into the pits. Perhaps preparing for one last run. Langeveld cannot up the ante here. He is 1.2 seconds off his best lap time. Pushing a bit too hard into turn 1. Improving yet. Where is our 2018.2 South African simGT Drivers Champion? Bashir Judd Watt is slightly improved. About a 1/10 of a second through the chicane we go now. Oh, catching a bit of air. But he's actually, no, he's lost a bit of time. In fact, trying to get the power down. He's going to abandon that lap as well. Oliphant into the pits. Leandro Sparks now up into 6th. Timothy Haynes now looking to improve by 10th. What will that do for him? Could give him 6th position. Let's see what he can do now into Ravazza. No, Timothy Haynes has lost his good work. No, he's lost time. Is also not improving. Victor de Kock goes to 16th. Improving for him. Chris Heineke is now joining the server to make it a full grid for this evening. 20 cars qualified for Division 1, and we've got 20 cars this evening. Fantastic. Hasn't left the pits yet for one last run. Langeveld now improving slightly into Tamburello. Trying to thread the needle there through turns 1 and 2. Oh, it hasn't worked out for him. Wow, he's lost a lot of time, half a second. He's just preparing himself for the next lap. Clark now is improving by 10th of a second. And a big shout out to everybody watching, almost 50 viewers, absolutely fantastic. Welcome everybody, great to have you with us. Absma is not leaving the pits, I don't think. I think he's getting himself ready for the race start now. Probably believes he has enough to maintain the pole position. So a lot of confidence there coming out of the secured RPM camp. Jim Clark is not improving now. There's Langevelds. Oliphant's in the pits. Leandro Sparks having a spin. Timothy Haynes on an outlap. Demolition now looking to improve. He's currently in 8th position. He needs 3/10 of a second to challenge Timothy Haynes for 7th. What can the Red Line Racing driver do now in the 17 Holden? Using the white line exception rule, they turn 8 allowed to run wide over the white line and use that green area. But it can get slippery if you go in there a bit too fast. Great driver, the chicane. He's going to be about 2/10 faster by the time he gets to Ravazza 1. Almost 3/10. That's what he needs to get into terms with Haynes for 7th. Throttle out of Ravazza 2. We've got a spinner in front of him, but that's okay. And Devilish is going to improve by half a second. Wow, what's this going to do for him? He is going to go to 6th position. Nice improvement there for Lisha and Redline. Langeveld's not improving. Well, I was pretty sure Langeveld was going to get pole position this evening, but Absma has thrown a spanner in the works to claim pole position. And I don't think anyone's going to challenge Absma. I think that's it. Will be Absma starting pole position ahead of Langeveld and Clark. And we've got Judd Watt in 4th position, Leslie Oliphant from 5th, Lisha from 6th, Leandro Sparks from 7th, Timothy Haynes from 8th position. Oh, really improved Haynes. He will go to 5th position, does Timothy Haynes, a nice improvement. Lisha in 7th, Leandro Sparks in 8th, Sean Lario from nowhere to 9th position, and Wesley Delport completes the top 10. So Absma got quite a lead there, and it's pretty close from 2nd position all the way down to what, 11th, 12th or so. Pakistan improves to 11th position. For Rebel Ghost Works. Who else is on a lap? I think that's everybody. Just go through the order here. Daniel Haynes goes through, but does not improve. Let's say 17th. Okay, we're going to take a short break and I'll be right back with the start of the race. Hello everyone and welcome back to Imola. We have started the pace lap for the opening race of the 2019.1 Sim Race SA season, particularly the South African simV8 series. Asmai leads the field, careful not to go over the speed limit of 140 kilometers an hour on the pace lap, otherwise you will incur a post-race penalty. But Asmai is in charge for the moment, and really a surprising result, I think. I'm not sure if he was expecting that this evening, but has pulled one out of the bag. We've got the secured RPM Holden on the front, in the front, and Langefart right there. Clark as well, of course. Clark will be interesting to watch this season. Newcomer last season, did very well towards the end of the 2018.2 season, and now starting well here in third position. Never discount Bashir Jadwat, of course, multiple drivers champion from fourth position in the Squadron Ghostworks car. Timothy Haynes in fifth position in the sister Ghostworks car. There's your left front. South African Sim GD drivers champion starts from sixth position. Devin Lesher from seventh for Redline Racing. Leonard Sparks from 8th, Lario from 9th position. Lucy Delport completes the top 10. For the chicane we go. This is the punching point, and Asmai will now bringing the field together for the start of this race. We will speed up from Rebecca to the final corner of the track to get this 50 lap race underway. Asmai really putting a lot of effort to heating up those tyres. Weaving side to side. A lot of support for Jason Asmai in the YouTube live chat. Welcome everybody. It's about to get crazy. Asmai will now speed up now to get this race underway. Off we go. 20 cars, 50 laps. Let's see what happens. And Asmai's got a fantastic start. He's away. He's taken Langefart with him. Clark has been caught napping somewhat in third position. Jadwat's all over him already. So good start so far. All very tidy. Whoa, and Langefart's got to run, and Asmai very cautious through turn 2 there. But Asmai hangs on to it for the moment. Oh, and Langefart's braked himself. He's going to go off. Oh, will this cause some chaos? No, it won't. But Clark is through to second, but Jadwat to third. And Haynes will pass him for fourth position too. So Langefart from second to fifth. Just snatching the front right brake, I think. And off he went into Villeneuve. Let's see if Langevaart can fight back now. He's on the attackers already up the inside of Haynes. They make slight contact. Oh, nice, great driving. Nice and clean. Oh, more contact again. And Haynes is not having anything of it. Is Timothy Haynes. Haynes runs slightly wide, but does not cost him anything. Attrition now under attack from Leandre Sparks. The sister red line cars together. They'll be working together somewhat. Sassman's got 13th from Hugo de Witt, I think that is. There's Attrition now is looking for a sneaky move up the inside. We have the outside line into Ravazza. Let's see what they can do with it. It's all about the brakes now. Side by side into Ravazza 1. Attrition has got that move done for the moment as the concertina up. Oh, a bit of contact there between de Witt and Sassman. Oh, and Sassman's fallen back. What, 2 positions there? Oh, you could throw a blanket over them, as Cat James would say. My sometimes co-commentator. Oh, side-by-side action. Daniel Haynes now. Oh, contact there with the British run wide. It's going to cost him dearly. Bottas now looking to come from the back from 20th. He just smells the move here on Daniel Haynes. Side by side now. Up the inside goes Bottas, and he's got Daniel Haynes. So Redline pulls one over Valente. Let's go back to the front, and Absmeyer has now got about a 6-car gap to Jim Clark. And Clark now under pressure from Judd Watt. Timothy Haynes playing a rear gunner to Judd Watt, I think, just trying to hold back Langevaart somewhat. Of course, I'm assured that there's no team orders at Ghost Works, so maybe I should retract that statement. But let's see what happens, let's see how this season plays out. Judd Watt a bit closer to Clark this time round. Let's go on board with Judd Watt. See what it's like from his perspective, or next to him anyway, in the passenger seat, let's say that. Into Villeneuve we go. Want to set yourself up for this corner. You get a good run to Tosa. Tosa has got a wide entry. Use the middle of the circuit if you can. Get a good drive up the hill. Oh, and a bit too... it's a heavy on the right pedal is Judd Watt. Almost spins it around. Is he under pressure now? Yes, here comes Timothy Haynes. Timothy Haynes, of course, the new driver at Ghostworks, taking on the most successful driver at Ghostworks, Michel Judd Watt. It's interesting to see. What a debut this is by Timothy Haynes. As you see, it is a 50-lap race, and each driver must do at least one pit stop. But I've got a feeling we might see more than one pit stop this evening. Let's see how we get on. Oh, Judd Watt's run a bit deep. Cost him time. Timothy Haynes not quite able to take advantage of Haynes now under serious pressure from Langevaart. Let's see Langevaart banging away on the sequential shifter there. Some great drive there into Villeneuve. Oh, who's that? Jadwat's run wide. Wow. Jadwat down to 5th. He may be down to 6th. Olifant gets the move on. No. Does not get that done. And these cars are so difficult to drive. Absolutely. Jadwat just a bit difficult there. It's cost him, what, 3 positions? 2 positions. Claasen's now has put a move on Delport for 11th position. Jonathan Pence is saying epic livery is absolutely. I was looking through the liveries today and they look like pieces of artwork. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, no mistake there for Delport. Just falling back now, dropped off the back of Claasen's. Number 59, the slipstream of Timothy Haynes. Oh, I'm not sure if Haynes went a bit too deep there. Oh, he's got away with this, maintain that gap to Langeveld. Slight Science says I need to get in on this. Of course you need to get in on this. You're welcome to visit our website at simracesa.co.za. Click on the Esports Leagues tabs and find a sign-up form. Get involved. You could be racing this Wednesday evening. In the Division 2, 3 or 4 races. And we'll find under pressure from a recovering Judd Watts. Mine up. He's away. He's a good over 2 seconds ahead of clock. And this is very impressive by Jason Absmeyer. He wasn't quite on the pace throughout the weekend, but has clearly found something perhaps this afternoon in practice leading up to the race. It's clearly suiting him or whatever has been done. And Jason Absmeyer, an extremely fast sim racer in his own right. Slightly off pace maybe the last couple of seasons, but perhaps this will be his season. Bottas has got De Vit for 18th position. The 2 red line drivers are swapping positions as Bottas now goes after Volante's Daniel Haynes. Volante, a very exciting team joining the Simrace SA scene for the first time this season. And we've got 4 drivers entered. And we look forward to seeing them go from strength to strength. Oh, big slide there by Bottas. Wow, he gets it under control there. Claasen's has got Lario for 10th position, has he? Yes, he has. A better drive at a Tosa corner on the run to Peratella. But I understand there for Quay Claasen's into Aqua Minerali. He does well to hang on to it. And this kind of car is going to reward the smooth driver more than usual. Perhaps this is why Absmeyer is on top of this car for the moment. Claessens has cemented that 10th position for now as he goes after Marcus Steyn. The Rebel Ghostworks entry. Clark now has got the gap to Absma to just under 2 seconds now, 1.961 as we look at him there. Through the chicane goes. That was my big slide there on exit. Gets the power down a bit easy. Maybe straightens the car quicker like that to get the power down. Didn't lose the time to Clark that way. Attrition has got Chris Heineke there for 14th position. Dodging Towers puts one over. Phantom Ghostworks. Clark has taken another 1/10 of a second out of Absma. The gap's apparently coming down. Of course, we don't know if everybody's going absolutely flat out. Perhaps they're trying to look after the tyres, make them last a little bit longer to just make a one-stop strategy, not a two-stop strategy. It's going to be very interesting later on, as we sort of hit lap 20 or so, as the super softs start going off. Whoever's on those, hopefully we'll be able to see who's on what tyre in the next couple of rounds, as they try to figure out how do we see what tyres everyone runs, because that is important to know. Lisha now under pressure from Sparks. Is that Leandre Sparks bump drafting Lisha? Sure looked like it. Pushing him down the main straight. Clark's taken another, what is that, 5/10 of a second out of Absma. So Clark now trying to push the issue now. And Haynes has fallen off Clark. He's a good 3 seconds behind him. He's got Langeveld and Judd Watt for company. That should get interesting a bit later on. Langeveld now, oh, very hard on the brakes. It's getting a bit frustrated now behind Timothy Haynes. Clark another 0.3 of a second quicker than Absmeyer that last time around. 45 dead for Clark, 45.3 for Absmeyer. So they're lapping a good 2 seconds off qualifying pace. That's very interesting. Oh, who's off there? It's Judd Watt, I think. Judd Watt's off again. He's struggling with the car at the moment. Judd Watt's down to 6th position. He will rejoin. Just ahead of Lisha and Sparks. So work to do here for the 2018.2 South African Sim GD Drivers Champion. Clearly no team orders at Redline Racing as Lisha fends off Leandro Sparks with all he has. Sassman's gone backwards, always recovering. He's lost 3 positions now as De Kock goes through 2. The 77 cars in trouble. What's wrong with Sassman's Ford? Oh, he's slowed right down. Has he got damage? Suspension damage perhaps for Sassman. He's trying to get it back, I think, to get it repaired. But he is very slow out of the chicane. Oh, is Sassman going to retire? It looks like he's going to. It's all over here for Cohen Sassman. That's a big pity. Looked very strong throughout the HRQ this weekend. We'll be back with Absmeyer now, and Absmeyer's got that gap back up to 2 seconds now ahead of Clark. Perhaps Sassman's escaped to pits, and then he'll take that 1 lap penalty to get out. Perhaps he thinks it's quicker and safer to do that. We just leave the server. Let's see what Sassman does. It's a big pity. Oh, and De Wit's off as well. Looks like a spin out of Ratsa 2. So the driver's finding it difficult now after lap 12 to keep the cars on the circuit. Of course, if you are watching this and you're thinking you would like to join, but you're not too sure if you're up to it, your skill set is up for it, not to be concerned. We have division racing, so we've got we're probably running 3 or 4 divisions this season. And what we do on the build up to each round, we do a sort of a hot lap session that runs 4 days or so, and each driver can do as many laps as they want on the server. And then what we do is we break up the all the sign-ups into smaller groups, so 3 or 4 groups, and then they're for bringing similar skill sets together. So you won't necessarily be racing against the quickest drivers at Sim South Africa, but drivers that are sort of more at your pace, whether you're a Division 1 driver or a 2, 3 or 4 driver. There's always somebody to race and have some fun with. And of course we do the division qualifying for every round, so we don't have set divisions that go throughout the season. So because we want to see the best drivers at the top whenever they might join the season. We've got a request for an onboard with Jason Absmeyer. Yes, we can do that. Let's look on board. Absmeyer, he's about to start another lap, which is perfect timing for us. So on the run down the main straight towards Tamburello. Important to get your braking absolutely spot on for this corner, because if you don't, you will pay dearly. There's no runoff area here. Into turn on we go, nice and stable. Turn 2, right the curb slightly, not too much. And you can see I'm just my short shifting there into third gear through turn 3 on the run out to Villeneuve. You want to set yourself up for the second corner. First, the second corner, get a good exit out of here, ride the curb. And then we're on the run to Tosa corner. Nice wide entry. Use the middle of the circuit. Cut in slowly and get back on the power. Let the car run wide onto the curve. Perfect. Up the hill we go towards Perrotella corner. Want to be as wide as possible here. And then just suggest the corner to the car. And towards Aquaminerali. Very difficult under braking here. Turning right ever slightly. And then ride the curve slowly here, on the back on the power. Then up the hill again towards the chicane. And you want to straighten the car as much as possible before you get back on the power. There we go. Turn it in nicely, get back on the power. And then we're down to Ravazza 1 and 2. 2 left corners. Braking downhill. Ride the curb and then ride this curb as well. Very nice lap there, Bob Smart, nice and smooth. And that's exactly why he's leading this race. So at the moment the gaps are pretty spread out for the moment. Unfortunately for we've got a good gap here. This is just what 2/100ths of a second here between Hodgson and Heineke. And I think Heineke is trying to come back at Hodgson now. These two were battling it out around sort of 3 or 4 laps ago. And it's kicked off again. Oh no, Hodgson now back under pressure from Heineke. Oh, they almost come together. Oh, Heineke's gone for the dub of the inside and it's paid off, has it? Yes, it has. Hodgson had to back out of that one. And through goes Heineke to 13th position. 4 Phantom Ghost Works. So we're going to update here. The Spectator, co-assessment, wheel bracket broke during the race and wheel came loose. Super unlucky for him, absolutely. That's a big pity. Assessment is looking very strong throughout the weekend, as I mentioned before. I'm sure you to see if he could crack the top 10 in this race. I think he could have. And Assessment, our first retiree of the evening. I think everyone's doing very well with this very difficult car. It's a very wild ride, this one is. It's not like a GT3 car where you've got traction control and ABS and a lot of aerodynamics. This car has none of that and more power than a GT3 car, if I'm not mistaken. Or pretty much on par with it at least. Jadwat's got Oliphant for 5th position. And yes, he is, but Jadwat's throwing it away. Oh, into the wall. Oh, no. Can Jadwat get it back to the pits, though? Oh, he's going to come across the circuit, is he? He's going to rejoin safely, though. That's an experience there. Has Jadwat got? Can he bring it back? Oh, the car's in a horrible state. Will be suspension damage for Jadwat, I'm pretty sure. Let's have a look at the steering wheel. Yes, it is bent. He's going to try and get it back if he can. Oh, and yeah, just leapt to the left there for Judd Watt. Can he bring it back though? Yes, he can. Just trying to keep out of trouble. Oh, big slide there by Lario as he tries to find his way past Judd Watt. Clark now just 1.2 seconds behind Judd Watt. Judd Watt now just going through the chicane. Needs to be very careful under braking now for Ravatsa. Gets it stopped nicely. Haynes has got Heineke for 15th as that battle rages on. Heineke seems to have fallen back now, 1.5 seconds up behind. Here comes Judd Watt. Surely into the pits he goes. Yes, he does. So Judd Watt will be the first of our pit stoppers. Claessens has got staying for 8th position. That move just happening off camera. Oh, big slide there for Claessens. Stan trying to come back at him now. On board is Stan. 3 for the nerve we go. Yuri Abs, my son's driving like a champ tonight. Go Jason, absolutely Yuri. Jason is doing a fantastic job. The class is now just edging away from Stan. Cameron, if you're looking for help with this car, all I can suggest is you make the suspension as soft as possible. Drop the wheel rates as much as you can. As we see Quake Claessens now into the pits, that's very interesting from a strategic point of view. Perhaps Claessen's going for a 2-stop strategy as he pits on lap 18. So that would be on schedule we are for 2-stopper, 18 and 36 again. Judd Watt has rejoined in 18th position now with a fresh set of tyres, no doubt, and perhaps fuel to the end. What he does. Claessen's in there is down to 12th as well. Which Victor de Kock in the Simtech RPM car, carrying 13th position. Doing a bad job there is Victor de Kock. Alicia Sparks battle. These two red line cars absolutely glued together. My matching Clark there. That gap stabilized at 1.5 seconds now. Back to the front. By now he's up that gap by 2/10 now, 1.7 now, back to clock. So that was my proving up to the task. Maintain that gap. How long can he keep it up for? That was my improving on his best delta so far as well. So this car getting better and better throughout the race. We're on lap 20 of 50 now. The wheel correction there, Fabs Maya. Just exiting Aqua Minerali there on the green stuff. It's very well. Not afraid to ride the curbs through the chicane. Bit of wheel spin on exits. Not too bad. That's why pretty very consistent. He's got the gap up further to 2.2 seconds now, back to clock. Yeah, super up, just talking about everybody else went race suspension. I went as low as I could. So I think what everybody's doing is they're dropping the wheel rate as much as they can, but it makes the setup invalid in the game. So then they raise the suspension to overcome that. So in effect, it actually makes the car a bit lower. Rob, so maybe you want to try that? Board now with Jim Clark in the Accor Holden. As we try and chase down Jason Amsmeyer. Clark on the rev limiter there, trying to get to the chicane before he has to change gear. Oh, a lot of curb there for Clark. The left side of the car all up in the air. And we've got some traffic coming up for us. It might play a role as Clark snatches the brake. Who is in front of Jason Absmeyer? It is Hugo de Wit, one of the red line cars in the number 7 Holden. But I'm pretty sure Hugo will take note of the blue flags and move aside when he needs to. Hugo de Wit moves aside nicely, not to hinder the race leader, and Jim Clark's going to have to find a way past him as well. I think Clark might meet him at Ravatsa, which might play into Absmeyer's hands. He's gone board with Clark. It just moves aside. Textbook stuff here by David. Great to see. Expecting those blue flags. And that's how it's done. Try and get those passes done on sort of the straights, not the corners. Just anticipating very well Hugo de Wit there as to when the other car is going to catch him and just make it a bit easier. Great job there by de Wit. They've got a battle here for third position as Langeveldt scored right up to Timothy Haynes now. And I'm pretty sure Langeveldt's getting frustrated by now. Yeah, legend of Super Rob. Basically, you want to do the opposite of what you did now. Try that. So you want to lower the spring rate as much as possible and then raise the ride height to validate the setup to get to 60 millimeters. Now, really trying to force the issue now with Haynes. Once past him. This is red line versus Ghostworks. Oh, as Haynes goes defensive, but he's got it wrong. Oh, off goes Timothy Haynes. Just got it wrong under braking there. And he will rejoin just ahead of Chris Heineke. Chris Heineke is a lap down, in fact. Into the pits comes Haynes. I'm pretty sure Heineke's done a pit stop already. Back to the front now. There's my still enjoying a 2-second lead. Back to clock. Marcus then also into the pits now. Chad Watts recovered to 16th now. It's just half a second behind Peter Geldenhuys. We see a lot of pit stops happening now. As it looks like everybody's trying to go for a one-stopper. Slap bang in the middle of the race, I suppose, is the most oh, Jadwat's falling back again. Is he had another off? Oh yeah, looks like it. Down to 17th. Looking very second hand. As into the pits comes race leader Jason Absmeyer. Clark will slip past into the lead, of course. Now, does Absmeyer feed back into traffic? That's the big question. And will they play into Clark's hands? Clark is in clean air. And they're shown into the pits too from 4th position. Holden-Jones now leaves the pits from 19th position. Absmeyer's left his pit box, exiting the pit lane now. Oh, he's going to get a bit of traffic, is he? No, he won't really. In fact, it's Sean Lario in the sister RPM Simtech car. So I don't expect Lario to give Absmeyer a lot of resistance when he wants past. Will Jim Clark now pit this lap? No, he won't. He pushes ahead. Here comes Hodgson into the pits and Bottas. And Clark did a 45.723 that last lap. Let's see what Usmeyer does as Usmeyer gets past Lario. To the pits comes Leslie Oliphant from 3rd position. The RPM forward. Larsens has got Oliphant for 7th. Just getting past him as Oliphant left the pit lane. Clark now into the pits. Current race leader. And Upsmeyer should get past him pretty easily before he rejoins. But let's see what happens. Comes Upsmeyer through the chicane. Oh, big slide there. Of course, Upsmeyer's been on fresh tyres now for quite a while, 2 laps or so, so he should have extended the gap back to Clark. Comes Upsmeyer through Ravazza. Clark has not left his pit box just yet. Here comes Upsmeyer down the main straight. Clark leaves his pit box, but Upsmeyer should be through pretty comfortably, or will he? Wow, this is going to be close. No, it won't be. Upsmeyer retakes the lead of this race. Well, he will do so once DeAndre Sparks does his pit stop. This is Peter Kalnes in 18th position, a lap down when compared to Jim Clark. A bit of traffic here for Clark. This is going to hinder him. Pretty fast. Holden-Jones doing a good job there, moving aside. Through the pit stop phase, Upsmeyer's actually increased the gap back to Clark. The gap now up to 4 seconds. He's actually doubled that gap. There's a nice undercut run there for Upsmeyer, pitting before your competitor, getting the fresher tyres on, and then extending that gap while your competitor's on older tyres, all the way until your competitor comes in for new tyres, taking advantage of the situation. Upsmeyer's now past DeAndre Sparks as well, become the ultimate leader once again. Beamerstown, yes, you can join Division 3 or Division 4, whatever the lowest division will be, as you didn't do the division qualifying, but there's absolutely no problem. This is our website at simracesa.co.za. Click on the Esports Leagues tabs and you'll find a sign-up form there. And it will come through to me via email, and then I'll respond as soon as I can straight back to you. Let's get you all set up. Oh, so JC Crumbler, what they do is they, once they're approaching a corner, they're hitting the brake hard, and then they're lifting the pedal up with their foot as they're approaching the apex. And that way you can control the braking. And of course, you can try different brake biases. It's the pressure towards the front and the rear, and change that to help your braking. I mean, if you're locking up a lot in the corners, then move the bias towards the back. So instead of a 64 percentage bias towards the front, run like a 58 and try that. Maybe try small increments until you're happy with it. But what I find under braking too is your slow bump and rebound is to work that to help your braking as well. Osman now enjoying a 4.2 second lead back to Clark. I think this is the best ever run I've seen by Osman since joining Simrace South Africa years ago now. It's great to see. As he puts a lap bar on Crystal Bottas in the red line car, the 113 Holden. Been a battle here. Judd Watt now up into 10th, of course, after that early pit stop. It's going to be interesting to see if Judd Watt can make his tyres last to the end. But he now leads Delport for 10th. We're on to racing Simrace SA meetup at the Kalami 9 hour this year. Oh, that sounds like a good idea. Maybe we can try and organize something. Yeah, let's get a post going on the forum and see what happens. It sounds like a great idea. Doubled now, catching up to Judd Watts. Judd Watts is having a bit of difficulty out of that chicane. Brakes we go. Oh, here comes Doubled, who's got it wrong under braking, and off he goes. So easy to do that. That's downhill braking there for Avatsa 1. Very tricky. It's caught me out many times. Don't have any battles on track for the moment. Just 20 laps remaining. Clark now just trails Osmar by 3.5 seconds. That gap's come down by 6/10 or so. So perhaps Clark's now trying putting down the nail now on Absmeyer. He's got what, 20 laps remaining, and yeah, if he starts now, he can sort of work that gap down. But he needs to get moving. 3.5 seconds is quite a gap in these cars to recover. Demolition now up into 4th position. Which if he has to do a pit stop still, I'm not quite sure. But if he hasn't, that's very, very impressive. It's his teammate Langeveld. These two on top of the timesheets of day 1 of the HRQ session. Nicholas Kent saying that Lisha did do a pit stop. So, well, yeah, this is a fantastic drive by Lisha. He's caught everybody by surprise through the pit stop phase. Delport's got Lario for 11th. This is Simtech RPM versus Redline. I want to say a big shout out to all the teams and drivers and for all the support this season already. It's been absolutely fantastic. The cars look amazing, the driving is fantastic, and that makes organizing these events an absolute pleasure and to execute them as well. We have a fantastic 2019.1 season. Volento Racing, when is your next race, Jason? Oh, Volento is saying, me personally, I've got the 6 hours of Estoril this weekend. It's the VC round there. I'm in the Division 2 race. And now I separated SimSport Porsche. Driving with Boyd Bryson, seeing what we can achieve there. So Clark's now got that gap down to 2 seconds now on Absmeyer. He's turning up the wick there, is Clark. Absmeyer's got traffic in the form of Victor de Kock. This is the sister RPM car. An RPM SimTech car. Moves aside there for Absmeyer. Going in the brakes is Victor de Kock is making absolutely sure he doesn't run into the back of Absmeyer. That would not go down well in the inter-team politics. Oh, big slide there for Clark. He's pushing very, very hard. Nicholas, it's not an official DLC, it's actually a mod. It's made by the V8 Corsa modding team. If you just search V8 Corsa in Google, it'll come up. And it's actually a free download. Does a great job there, letting pass both Absma and Clark, respecting those blue flags. That's what we like to see. Quality of driving has been absolutely fantastic this evening. It's fantastic to see. Jed Watt into the pits for his second pit stop this evening from 12th position. Osmo's got the gap up to over 3 seconds again. And of course, if you're watching this and you want to get involved in the racing at SimRace South Africa, we do use the PC version of Assetto Corsa. Assetto Corsa is a fantastic simulator, and it's perfect for what we want to do with SimRace South Africa and what we want to achieve, and it's what we'll be using going forward. We might use the new Assetto Corsa Competizione, the new version from next season, but we'll see how we go. It's not decided yet, and that side, the multiplayer side of that simulator is also not ready yet whatsoever for league action just yet, but I'm sure it will be. And even then we'll probably use a mixture of Assetto Corsa Competizione and Assetto Corsa itself. And yeah, you can get Assetto Corsa on Steam, and then we do use selected DLC as well, and then 1 or 2 mods. We use this car we're running tonight is a mod made by the V8 Corsa modding group. And we also use a mod for the GP series, the Race Sim Studio outfit. Have made a fantastic 2000 spec Formula 1 car. We use it in the GP series. And yeah, you're welcome to visit our website at simracesa.co.za. Click on the Esports Leagues tab and have a read through the different championships we're running. And then yes, you can submit a sign-up form. It'll come through to me by email, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Press for an update on Quade Claessens. He's currently running in 10th position. He's chasing down Nario for 9th, and he's just half a second behind him. So I think this is perfect timing to join this battle. Board now with Claessens and the Synergy Spartan car. It's a bit of time into Lario, not getting the exit that he needs. Oh, Claessens on the rev limiter. Short gearing there for Claessens, that's interesting. 13 laps remaining, and Absma's got 3.5 seconds on clock. Looks like it's going all the way of the RPM secured Holden of Absma. Battle here between Hodgson and Judd Watts for 12th position. Whoa, dive here for Judd Watts caught out Hodgson, just taking the rear of the red Holden. Around they go. And of course, Judd Watts is going to wait there for Hodgson to rejoin. I think Judd Watts just got it wrong under braking, and fortunately was a passenger. And straight to the scene of the accident he went and took Hodgson with him. Suddenly Clark is just 2.5 seconds behind Absma now. In comes Heining into the pits. Judd Watts has got Hodgson finally for 13th position. I think Hodgson is coming back at it, and is he on board now with Hodgson? Oh, mistake there by Judd Watts. Through goes Hodgson back into 13th position. Back at Hodgson. What a great racing this is. Back to the front now, and just 12 laps remaining for Absma. That gap's come down to 2.2 seconds as Clark starts to reel him in. Timothy Haynes in 3rd position. He's over 20 seconds behind Clark, so he's no threat to Absma or Clark. Of course, one mistake by Absma and it could be all over. Of course, this late in the race, to keep focus on what you're doing and not get sidetracked, and to not let your mind wander. Something happens to me. Keep big, almost an off there for Clark. It's just how hard he's pushing. Over the curb onto the green stuff, all 4 wheels. Good with Clark now. Osman Felice, Osman still short shifting. Jason maybe saving fuel. I don't know, I don't think so. I think he's short shifting to control the power through the corners. And that way he gets better drive and less wheel spin. Just using the torque of the big V8. You don't need to rev the guts out of these things. They've got plenty of torque low down. And I think Jason's just using the low revs just to pull the car through the corner and also not spin the tires. Quite clever actually. See a lot of that in historic racing. Oh, who's off there? Somebody's off. It is in fact Marcus Stain is pulled to the side from 11th position. Oh, Stain's left the server. In fact, a second retirement for this evening. After Sassman goes Stain. Things have not gone well here for the Ghostworks outfit. I think their top running driver is... yeah, it's Timothy Haynes in 3rd position. Not too bad, of course, 3rd position. What a debut Timothy Haynes is having for Ghostworks. Well, what they're just putting move on Daniel Haynes and the Volante Holden. Great comeback here from Daniel Haynes. He was at the back of the field at one stage and he's up into 12th position. And Bottas are together. Oh, they both run wide. Hanika runs short, and Commentator ran wide there. Hanika into 15th position now, but all under pressure now from he's in between them. So Marcus Stain usually joined the server. Fantastic. So we just got one retirement city, not two. Stain has made a comeback. Looking to secure some points this evening. Of course, the Division 1 races are rich with points. So always a good idea to try and finish them. This one now is only got a 1.8 second lead to Clark. Coming down all the time. Just seeing Jason at the front now, I'm just thinking, when's the last time he won a race? Oh, it's go get it sideways. And wow, so big moment there for Osmai, but he keeps it going. The gap now down to 1.4 seconds now. Not quite sure when Osmai last won a race. It could be going back to the simGP championship he won many years ago. I have to go look through the record books. Okay, now down to 1.5 seconds. Just 7 laps remaining. Claassens has got Lario for 8th position. Lario coming back at Claassens. Just one thing to think about, of when being in sort of a situation. Clark is in now in 2nd position. He's catching up to Absmar. And the thing is that Timothy Haynes is a good 25 seconds behind him. So if anything had to go wrong, Clark could probably recover in front of Haynes. So he's really got nothing to lose. Absmar has a race win to lose. So it's sort of the mind games that could be being at play here. Snatch of the left front brake there by Jim Clark. Timothy Haynes' podium result is under threat now as Langevaart's come back at him. Oh, Timothy Haynes runs very wide, gets a slide on the AstroTurf. Langevaart now smells blood. Got 6 laps to pull a move off. Plenty of time. Someone has left the server. Looks like it's staying once again. Oh, Langevaart trying to get up the inside. Oh, that's brave under brakes. Timothy Haynes leaves him room. Great driving. That's all about the drive now to this corner down the main straight. I think Timothy Haynes has got it. Asma extends his lead to 2 seconds once again. It's been a fantastic contest between Asma and Clark this evening. Wow. With a better drive than Haynes, not close enough to attempt to move though into Villeneuve. Well, Langevaart with a lunge up the inside. Wow, that's brave. Haynes sees him coming. Hasn't worked out for Langevaart. It was a bit cheeky. Timothy saw him coming, just made a bit of room, but not too much room. Langefeld now into the chicane. Oh, Langefeld not scared to ride the curbs. Oh, he's clipped Timothy. Oh, he's clipped him. And he's going to wait for Haynes. He's coming up behind Victor de Kock as a lap down, but Devon Lisher isn't. Devon Lisher looking to pick up 2 positions, and can he do it? In the distance. Those 2 are slow, but he's not quite close enough. Oh, and Haynes gets it sideways, through goes Langefeld. Lisher now. Fantastic drive by Lisher. Oh, he's overdone it. Oh no, just as I say that. Lisher now. I think that's 5th position for Lisher this evening. I'm sure if he close the gap now, 2 hands. 6 seconds in front of him. Yeah, that's fine. You can sign up now, scale, and then I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Absolutely. And this is in the sign up form. I do ask for a GUID number, but I mean you can send that to me afterwards when you get the game, and I'll let you know how to get that number. I need to input into the server. Three laps remaining, and Osma still got the 2.3 second lead ahead of Clark. And Osma is now approaching some traffic for some added drama. It's Sean Lario again. Ari hasn't moved aside for Absmeyer just yet. When will he do it? Shall it be now? Yes, it will be. Mario sees those blue flags. Mr. Clark as well. Oh, Clark, big understeer moment into Tosa. It's cost him. As Absmeyer extends that gap once again. Great driving there by Laria. Just staying out of the action. On board the clock. Clock can see Hubsmeyer. Just can't quite get there, I think. Clark's got that gap down to a second. Wow, it's not over yet, I don't think. Hubsmeyer must be feeling the pressure. Look how fast Clark's going through the corner as well. Really asking out of the car. Lost a bit of time. Not too bad. Oh, Hubsmeyer getting the better drive out of the chicane. The gap now up into 1.3 seconds now. But Clark's giving it his all. He hasn't given up yet. Great to see. Just now Hubsmeyer started the very last lap of this race. Can he keep it together? Surely he can. Clark with a short shift through turn 2. Interesting. Clark a bit slow into the corner this time round. Doesn't have the understeer we saw for the last 2 laps. Oh, Clark runs wide again. No, he's just trying a bit too hard. The tyres don't like that. And you can't fault him. He has to have a go. Launching the car over the curbs is Clark. Just 2 corners remaining now for Jason Hubsmeyer. And Jason Hubsmeyer has done it. He is won round 1 of the 2019.1 South African simV8 series. Congratulations to him on RPM secured. Very well deserved. Jim Clark, of course, will get second for Accor Racing. Fantastic race between these two. What a contest. Wow. Christopher Langeveld will get the last remaining podium position for Redline Valkyrie. Battling to get stopped into Ravatsa 1. Do it. Fantastic. Timothy Haynes will get a very impressive 4th position. Devin Nisha will get 5th. Great result for him. Victor de Kock will cross the line a lap down. So Oliphant will get 6th in the RPM Ford. And the Andreas Sparks will get 7th. since 8th position for him. Will come through to get 9th position for RPM SimTech. Obviously, Delport will complete the top 10. Judward 11th. Haynes Daniel will get 12th. Hodgson 13th. DeCock 14th. Heineke 15th. Watterson 16th. Kelner 17th. De Wit round up the field in 18th position. And that concludes round 1 of the 2019.1 South African simV8 series. I'm extremely happy with that. Fantastic driving all round. What a contest between Absmeyer and Clark throughout the race. Some great driving. The back markers respecting the blue flags as well. Great to see. And all in all, a great event, and makes hosting these events an absolute pleasure. So thank you to everyone for that. Well, until round 1 of the South African Sim GP series next Monday evening. All the best until then. Have a great week, and we'll see you next Monday. Goodbye.